What up, guys? Paradox back with just a quickie. So this video is specifically for the intake manifold runner control, or what's known as the IMRC in a Mustang or a V6S6 engine. They have them in several different engines, but the purpose is all the same. And really they are kind of somewhat problematic due to these little bushings that will sit in this piece and make this arm fall out. So it's a super common problem for Mustangs. So what will happen is that there's actually these little white bushings that look like this that seat in this arm, and they will fall out, not allowing that arm to properly actuate these runners. So this is an actual IMRC flapper, and what's going on is that at low RPM this is closed, and it allows for less volume, so that when air is coming into your manifold and down into your cylinders, this will allow less volume to go to the cylinder because it's at a lower RPM and it's not allowing as much air into the cylinder. And then as it goes through the RPM, what it'll do is it'll start cutting the air, and it's tuned to basically accept at the head down here the tuned port, split port flow. And we'll mix those two at whatever ratio you're going up through your RPM band. So when people are having like a specific problem with a single bank, so say like, oh, you're reading weird bank in this side, so this whole side of the engine's acting normal, but you know your O2 sensors and everything are good on the one side you're getting it. Okay, well that one's open and that one's closed because an IMRC bushing fell out. So what we have going on is with this one, it's good. With this one, it's good. And then these two have now fallen out. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you guys how to replace these. This lower intake looks a little different than your guys's because the Mustangs is the two different ports. This is a Freestar lower intake, but I mean the exit, other than the manifold, it's the exact same function and thing that's going on. This is just a newer lower intake than the Mustang style. So in order to fix these bushings, you go and you get, they say to get the Ford ones, and you can get the Ford ones. The Ford ones are better. You can skip this next process, but these are commonly got. I just paid $8 for these, and you know, you get 5, so you get 1 plus 1 to fuck up if you don't get it right. So it's going to be a, you know, a Dorman 7099. It's a vacuum retainer bushing. And so they've already had problems with these, and like after we've already kind of seen that what happens is they still fall out. Like even though these are the Ford ones, they look the exact same. They won't hold on to this little. They won't hold on to that little nub there, and they will fall out. So this one looks like it's holding pretty good. But anyways, they will fall out, and this is a super common problem. To be real, this is one of, as the cars age, if this hasn't had the issue by 150,000 miles, it's amazing. But at some point, you're going to need to replace these bushings, and we talk about it all the time. So I'm actually specifically making this video for it. So we've purchased these, and I've done this a couple times. So we're going to show you guys exactly how to do it. What I do is when I know that they'll slip out, a lot of times I'll end up coating the tip of this. So I will usually either take this and kind of dab the tip into some RTV, and what you're looking to do is make sure that that bushing doesn't fall out. And we just do some of this nonsense. So you're not doing too much, you're not doing not enough, really just kind of enough to make it stay on there. I'll give the other half to the other side. If I can, I'll always wiggle it. Make sure it's kind of freed up, but it's just when it sets, it'll stay there. That one's done. Same thing, just trying to Get it on the tip. Now I'm just doing this to preventative maintenance, you know, to make sure that I'm not going to have any problems. So it might lock up a little bit at first, but it will let go, and when it does, it will have its own little brake pattern to allow it to go. Just going to work it in for a minute. Bang. That was good. So then these ones are going to be the same thing, except for I already got the bushing off, so I can just kind of hear the old on the way in. Should be good. Almost got to set this thing down. Can he do it? Here's one. Apologize if the camera's out of focus. I wasn't looking at all. Same thing. Number 2, just give her hell. And they say you can just buy the Ford ones and do this, but you know, some of us only got the dollar store brand or AutoZone brand. This one's gonna be fun. Got it. So that's got just the fresh smudges in it. I kind of give these a little extra gusto. Put the IMRC stick in. And then as soon as I push these into that slot, they're pretty much in there, and it has to break the bushing retainer to pull them back out. So I'll push them in, and then, no. Now it's in. Heard a good audible click when that was in, which is a good thing to know. And yeah, well, that's the gist of it. I'm going to push that in with a clamp, and then as soon as I do, I'm just going to once again give them a little. I mean, they can stick right when you first get them, but after that they're going to be good to go. I'm just kind of doing this for a little reassurance, and I'm not really overdoing it. I just kind of want to make it so that once it breaks away from itself, it will keep its own brake. But yeah, and then kind of wipe it up when I'm done like that. Yeah, I gotta push that one in. I did that with a wrench. So anyways, it's just being a pain in the ass. And yeah, so anyways, that's how you do this. And just kind of make sure when you're done that it will still kind of go. Put it on hot. You know, it's one of them ones where if you put this on the car and let her rip like this before it dries, this will actually be a good thing. I'm glad I could help you guys out with the IMRC bushings and get you guys that part number. Have a great night.